already. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in the sight. He is our strength and our redeemer, and it's in his name, which is his authority, that we pray, praise, proclaim, project, and protect today's message. Aman, shalom, peace. How's everybody doing? Thank you for spending some time being with us today on this rising. Hopefully you all are doing well. Hopefully you all are doing very, very well. And we appreciate your presence on today. On tonight. Today we're going to use a French term to speak about a very Israelite problem, if you will. And tonight we're going to use a French term to go over a very Israelite problem. All right. But we give all honor and praise to the Most High. We give all praise and honor to him for my wife, the Honorable Maya. Please check out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish, not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. We're thankful and grateful for the Most High being there to help her and you guys, blessing her business as well, to help her to be able to reach people all over the diaspora. We're appreciative of you, and we're thankful and we're grateful to you very much so. Thanks for being on. Let's say hello to everybody real quick. How you doing, Sister Deborah? How you doing, Sister Joy? How are we doing, Big Brother Thomas, Coco, Romac, Sister Patricia, Sister Irina? Hello, Sister Nakura. I still don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm about to hopefully we'll get on the phone one of these days and actually talk. I was just texting, but thanks for being on. Appreciate you. How's everybody doing? Today I want to use once again a French term, à la français, to be able to talk about Yashla'al. It's a term. It is called au revoir or au revoir. Au revoir, right? This term, au revoir. This term is something that's used to be able to help to indicate, to be able to show, to be able to tell the person, see you, I'll see you again. Right? Till we meet again, I'll see you again. Not quite Auf Wiedersehen, which is Germanic, of course, but au revoir, right? Now, why am I saying that you need to learn au revoir? Maybe you need to put a different inflection, because when somebody says wipe the dust from your feet, maybe you're not catching that. When somebody says, say, I'll see you later, maybe you're not catching that. When somebody says you might need to say good riddance, maybe you're not catching that, right? So maybe we put a little flair on it tonight, au revoir, to let somebody know that I'll catch you later, right? I'll catch you later, right? I might not. No, you can go ahead and turn it up a little bit. I was just looking back. I'll catch you later. Can you hear it? Okay. As long as you can hear it. So I'll catch you later. It's all right to tell somebody who's trying to leave you. It's all right to say, hey, man, if we cross paths again, we cross paths again. How you doing, Brother Alton? How you doing, Sister Dawn? How you doing, Sister Sierra? Everybody's coming on. How you doing, Brother Jermaine? How you doing, Sister Tori? Come on in, everybody. How you doing, Brother Jelani? Everybody, right? It's all right to say. It's all right to let people know. It's all right to tell somebody and let them know. How you doing, Brother TJ? If I didn't say sorry, I think I did. Au revoir. How you doing, DB? I'll see you again later. You need to learn that when somebody says, I'm leaving you, I'm going here, I'm not going to support you until we meet again. I'll see you later. Au revoir. Au revoir, Shahi. Au revoir, ma femme. Au revoir, right? It's okay. It's not going to stop me from doing it. It might hurt me to see somebody who was supposed to walk with me in this journey, but that's okay. Au revoir. This might just be a season. Maybe I'll see you again, but until I see you again, the mandate on my life has not changed. How you doing, Minister Tamara? See, until we meet again, the mandate doesn't change, right? You as a child might want to go ahead and talk bad about me and say all manner of evil against you, and I raised you from when you were a child. You are hurting my heart, but that's okay. Au revoir. Right there, this might be a season where we're not together the way we used to be. How you doing, Sister Nadine? But that's all right. Until we see each other again, maybe we see each other again on the other side. But until that time comes, this is the season where I'm going to keep moving even without you. Notice, I didn't say this is a season, right, that's just going to be without you. That's the rallying cry for many. But don't get in the season where you don't keep moving. Shalom, how you doing, Sister Betty? Right? Don't get in the season to where you stop moving because somebody's not going to be, well, I know, shed those tears. I know he promised he was going to be there. She promised they were going to be there. They were going to live healthy and they wouldn't eat right. And now they're not. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to belittle it, right? I'm just trying to say they're not here for whatever reason. I know, I get it. How you doing, Priscilla? Right? And all these different things that are going on. I know, I get it. They were supposed to do this. They were supposed to be here. They were supposed to be ready. They were supposed to give their all. They were going to help with this. They were going to pay this bill. They were going to love me, and they never showed me love. All right, now that it's been shown that they're not going to be there, au revoir. Have a nice night. Right? Hopefully you get yourself together somewhere along the road. But until you do that, I still got to move forward. Right? Until you do that, I still have to move forward. Right? Until you do that, I still got to move forward. I still have a responsibility to my family to not to not be stuck. Right? I still have a responsibility to not be stuck. Okay, you aren't supporting me the way you used to support me. No problem. Oh, why? I've still got stuff I've got to get done. How you doing, WCP? Right? I still got stuff that I have to get done. I still have things that I've got to try and work towards. Right? Like you have to have it in your heart that even when people are against you, even when people are saying they're not going to help you, even when you're trying to figure out how am I going to make the next step, how am I going to make the next move, how am I going to be able to get to the next level, all these things that you're trying to figure out. Right? Wow. Right, and all these things, like no matter what's happening, you gotta be able to say to yourself, like I'm not going to allow you to deter me. I'm not going to allow you to slow me down. I'm not going to allow you to do these things. Like you have to say to yourself, right, what am I going to do? And a lot of you, what's going on in your relationships or in your at your job that you've lost, or at this or at that or whatever, a lot of what's happened is that you have lost the ability. If you maybe you didn't have the ability, but you have lost the ability to ensure that you can make sure that you're not going to stop just because, right? You lost the ability to make sure that you're not going to just give up, right? Just because you've lost that ability. And I'm sorry, I'm walking around, right? But you've lost that ability. A lot of us have decided that I'm just not going to make it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be able to get to the next level. Why have you? Why? What caused you to do that? Right? What caused you to do that? What caused you to give up? What caused you to be something that you weren't called to be? Right? You got to ask yourself, right? Why is it that you don't have that au revoir in you? You don't have that thing in you that says that you're not going to stop me from moving forward. I've got something in me that allows me to excel, right? To excel in what Yah wants me to excel in, to move how He wants me to move, right? Why have we given up? You got to ask yourself, why have you given up? You got to ask yourself, why have you decided that you can't make it because somebody said something bad about you? Right? When does it, and here's the deal, because you've decided that, when does it stop? Beloved, when does it stop? I don't know how deep this is going to be tonight. You might need to hear somebody speak these words a few times so you get that you're doing some stuff that doesn't make sense. When does it stop? Right? If all somebody has to do is irritate you to get you off course today, where does it stop, beloved? How you doing, Auntie Marion? Where does it stop? How you doing, Sister Tracy? Where does it stop? Somebody said a bad word and it means you go ahead and have to cuss everybody out. Okay, fine. When does it stop? When does it stop? Where does it stop? When do we say, okay, enough is enough as far as running from what I'm called to be? When do I get tired? Look, can I be honest with you? I just got into a place in my life. I'm just tired of running from my calling. If I can just be honest. Can I just be honest? I've just gotten to a place where I'm tired of running from my calling. My calling is my calling. You hear what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of trying to run away from what I know I'm supposed to be. And anybody who's decided to try and fight me against who I am. Au revoir. Like, until we meet again or until you get yourself together. How you doing, Sister Toya? All right, that just gets to be a certain point to where you get tired of running from who you are. And I'm just tired of running from who I am. Right? I got tired. I'm not tired because I don't run no more. But there was a time where I was running and I was running and I was running and I was running. After a certain point, you get tired of running from who you are. Yah created you to be that way. Why are you running from it? If Yah created you to be who you are, hear what I'm saying. If he created you to be who you are, right? Matter of fact, let's take the if off that. Let's take that if, peel it off, ball it up, and put it in the trash can real quick. He designed you to be who you are. Running away from who he designed you to be is running away from his will on your life. It means you are running away from him. Is running away from Yah's will a sin? If Yah said, Jonah, get on that boat and go over there and preach that word to Nineveh, and you decide to jump off beforehand and now everybody's going down, is it a sin? Come on, somebody. They don't want to hear me tonight, Holy Spirit. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on tonight. I might not be on that long. I just want you to hear, right? If Yah said, I made you to be this, and you will not be what I made you to be, then you got a problem. Thanks for being part of the live and how you doing, Nicole. Thank y'all for the love. Do you hear what I'm saying? Yah is tired of trying to tell you nicely over and out. He'll still help you out, but I'm trying to tell you, he's getting tired of you always being tired of being you. He said, no, he, he said things in his word, such as, right? Greater is he, that's him, that is in you than he, that's the devil, that's in the world. At some point, when did you get tired of being sick and tired, of getting the same thing? And Yah says you should have been 75 steps removed from this by now. We should have been past having trouble sleeping, and we should have been to the point to where if you're having trouble sleeping, you should be saying, here am I. All right, how you doing, Sister Judith? How you doing, Sister Keita? And please forgive me, I'm a little pumped up tonight, right? But I'm just saying, at what point do we get to a place to where we realize, sorry for all the movement tonight. I'm moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. At what point do we get to a place to where whatever has placed in you, you believe that he will complete it? How you doing, Sister Helen? At what point? At what place? At what time do we get to that? Do you hear what I'm saying? At what time do we get to that, right? To where if Yah started this thing in me, then I've got to get there. I've got to do what he called me to do. If he started this thing, then it must get completed. Which means that if he started it and he must complete it, it means he will not give up. Which means if he started it and he will complete it and it must not give up, then if I'm giving up on him. And if I'm giving up on him, I'm giving up on me. And if I'm giving up on me, I'm giving up on his will. And if I'm giving up on his will, I think you get it. Right? Come on, somebody. It's about time for you to say au revoir. And anybody who's not going to move the way Yah says move, au revoir. Anybody who's not going to do what they're supposed to do, lève-toi, get up off the ground. Stop doing all those stuff. Time for you to make sure that you are over, en bas. It's time for you to do that. But if not, au revoir. Au revoir, chérie. Au revoir, mes potes. Mes potes. Right? It's time for you to go. Right? It's all right to leave situations. It's all right to leave people, even for seasons, right? Because some of you are so frustrated. So maybe it's not forever. Maybe it's for a season. But Yah has put you in a position to where it's all right to let somebody go ahead and go. Paul says those that were supposed to be with us, if they were still supposed to be with us, they would be here. There's some people that should be gone, and you're holding on to, right? It's not a deep, some of this stuff is not that deep. Now, I get there are deep reasons why you won't pull the trigger, right? But sometimes you're asking for people to pull the trigger for you. That's time to let go. Watch this. What if Yah says if you would let go of this for a season, I could go ahead and give something to you? Hear this. Watch this. If there is no fall, there can be no spring. You're afraid of the winter, but that's not the goal. If there is no fall, there can be no spring. You just want summertime. But see, summertime is a result of the spring, and springtime is a result of the ground getting to settle and do some things during the winter time. But there can't be any winter unless things fall off. And you're so afraid of things falling off, but that's just a season. You don't think that a season of falling off could be a blessing. Come on now, I see you, Sister Dawn. Right? You don't think that a season of falling off could be a blessing. I fell off plenty of times in my life. And when I came back, I came bearing fruit. Some of y'all been with me long enough to see Kofi_40 fall off. Kofi_42 is born, fall off. Kofi_43 is born, fall off. Kofi_44 is born. And then all of those that were lost, supposedly, rose back up. Because he resurrects things too. How you doing, Zora? Are you in a position to where you're willing to let some things fall off? Stop talking about the fall. Stop being worried about the fall. You're worried about the fall because you can't imagine winter. But if there's no winter, there is no spring. See, during the winter when everything's about to fall off, watch this. Let me just go ahead and help you out. You know this because you've seen these seasons, but you don't agree with them, believe in them, whatever, for whatever reason, right? You've seen winter happen. What happens in winter? It's a cleansing. There's going to be a temperature that's upheld long enough to where certain disease can't reside anymore. Oh, you don't hear. See, but that's the reason things are falling off is there's a sign coming saying that things are about to be cleansed. It's going to be harsh, but it's about to go ahead and put you there. There's going to be a long period of time. Thank you for the love. There's about to be a long period of time that you are going to go through some stuff. It's going to be some harsh temperature. I'm not going to hold you, fam. I'm not going to hold you, beloved. It's going to be cold. I'm not going to hold you. You're going to wish that you had the fur coats and everything that you got rid of and gave the good, goodwill a long time ago and all that. I'm not going to hold you. It's going to be difficult because you're not going to be able to wear them open toe shoes. And some of y'all threw away those boots and everything. But the Bible says, Matthew 24, verse 13, that anyone can endure these things coming up, the same will be saved. I wish I could lie to you and tell you it was about to be easy. It's not about to be easy in this season. It doesn't mean that you can't make it. You have survived 100% of every winter that's shown up in your life. This is not going to be any different. How you doing, Brother Alex? You have survived 100% of every winter you've ever been through. So don't doubt that spring is coming. I know you're comfortable in the summer. I know you're comfortable in your two-piece. I know you're comfortable in your swim trunks. I know you're comfortable in doing some of these things. But guess what? Time is coming. The time is coming. The time is coming to where the fall has to happen so that the cleansing can happen. Has anybody ever watched an alligator in the wintertime? Have you ever watched a show, a YouTube special? Have you ever seen in person an alligator in the wintertime? Maybe you haven't because in your mind, alligators can't exist in the wintertime. But alligators don't die just because it snows, right? What does an alligator do? An alligator slows its whole body down, right? Its ability to live is based off of how much sun it gets, right? Its ability to move, right? It's a reptilian, and so it's cold-blooded, so the sun has to warm it up, right? But when the temperature gets to be a certain place, the alligator just slows its whole body down. To you, it would appear to be dead, right? And if you're not careful, though, if you start moving and you take it out of its position, it'll take it a little bit, but it'll warm up and it'll get to you. But the alligator has made a decision right? Rather than trying to fight what's coming, he's decided that even if I've got to pause everything in life, if it means that I'll be able to wake up when things spring back into order, then let me go ahead and rest. See, we're not used to nature. So it's hard to describe natural law to people. We are not used to nature. See, animals don't eat just for the sake of eating. Animals eat to make sure that they don't have to eat. Somebody missed that. Can I bless somebody today? Right? I'm not saying that the bear doesn't fill itself up all day and everything and stuff, but it's trying to build up calories because it's going to have to go into a hibernative state. It doesn't really technically even hibernate. But see, animals don't eat to make sure that they're not hungry. Animals eat so they don't have to eat. I'm trying to help somebody. See, an animal is eating now, knowing, and it tries to get a big enough meal now, knowing that it might not eat again for a really long time. So as long as it can get what it's supposed to get, it's comfortable resting. You're used to eating because somebody told you you're supposed to eat 3 times a day. And then they said if you want to go to the gym, you got to eat more. And they said if you want to go for a run, you got to eat more. And then they said if you want to go ahead and get over your crisis in the middle of the night, you need a midnight snack. Animals don't do that. Animals eat so they don't have to eat. What do you mean, Pastor Kofi? A boa constrictor, right? No matter what size you want to talk about, even if you want to talk about an anaconda, whatever, a boa constrictor is trying to eat so that it doesn't have to eat again. Thank you for the love. Appreciate it. A boa constrictor is trying to eat so it doesn't have to eat again. Once it gets its meal, it is comfortable saying, I've got what I need, right? A crocodile, a Nile crocodile, right? No matter how big it is, if it gets to the right size meal, it might not try to eat again for another year. Just because some zebra come through the water, if it's got the meal that it needed 2 days ago, it's not going to just chase every zebra across the water. Why? Because it's got what it needed. The tree, year round, you only look at the fruit that the tree produces. Now realizing that the tree is eating the nutrients and the water from the soil and getting the carbon dioxide that you spitting out so that it might be able to spit out oxygen right back into you. And so the tree is eating all year round, getting itself ready so that it can prepare itself to fall off. It doesn't need to eat all year long. It doesn't need to, it fasts. The tree actually goes into a fast because it's gotten what it's needed. It's gotten the birds and on the squirrels and all that stuff, even the waste that they put that go into the ground. The tree even eats the nutrients from that. It gets everything that it needs and then says, all right, I don't need anything else. I know what's coming. Let me go ahead and be okay with the season where I say, au revoir. I'm going to go ahead and stop giving um, magnesium. And when I stop worrying about the magnesium, that means I'm going to stop worrying about the chlorophyll. That's where my leaves are going to fall off. I'm going to make sure my bark does some things different, right? I'm going to make sure that I'm ready to fast. I'm ready to freeze. I'm ready to go through something that is extreme and everybody else would say is detrimental if they had to go through it. But I am created to be a tree. I don't run away from being a tree just because it's wintertime. In the wintertime is when you really see who I am. Everybody loves to eat off me during the spring, but nobody wants to really talk about me being protection for animals. And nobody wants to talk about me being somebody who literally has decided to fast for months. And nobody wants to talk about the fact that I will ensure that I'm willing to get rid of anything that's going to take me away from making it through another year. See, you want to try to keep everything, but you can't make it to the next season with. If I wasn't in such a public place and startling people, I'd probably start to shout right there, right? I'm trying to tell you, you're not gonna make it to a public place. Public place. You're not gonna make it to the next level. The tree can't make it to the next year unless it says I'm willing to let some leaves fall off. Are you willing to let some people fall off? Come on, Holy Spirit. I didn't even know. Some of y'all was like, Pastor Kofi, where you at? I didn't even know where I was going. Praise y'all. She just brought us back to where we need to be. See, you got to let some leaves fall off. I know this is a dad joke and it's corny, but leave me alone. Fall off. Au revoir. I've got to make it to the next season. I'm not born, I'm not created to be somebody who only exists in one time. I'm not created to only, even if you don't have winter, right? You either, if you live even in a tropical climate, you have 2 seasons. You got 2 semesters. You got the rainy season and you got the nice, beautiful season. You still deal with seasons, right? I'm not designed to only be something that looks nice in the regular. I'm not designed to look cute in the regular season. I'm designed to be able to make it in summer and winter, in summer and fall and winter and in spring. If you're not ready to go through the fall with me, then you're going to have to fall off. That's the way it is. Anything that's not necessary, it has to fall off. How you doing, Sister Sage? And it has to fall off because I've got to be prepared for winter. See, somebody in your mind, you went, oh yeah, it's got to fall off because I got to be ready for spring. It's got to fall off because I've got to be prepared for winter. Winter must happen before spring. Did you catch that? Winter, see, watch this. Winter is a season to where ain't nothing coming. And ain't nothing growing. But you're still a tree. The very thing that we would look at and say, you can't eat off that, just give it a few months. And now you're not going to want to do anything but eat off it. Do you hear what I'm saying? But there's going to be a season to where you're going to have a winter where there's no growth. Are you hearing me? Then you're going to go through a season where there's no growth. Come on, somebody. There's no growth. Right? Everything is falling off. And now here I am trying to make it. And everybody looks at me and says, you can't eat off that thing. But if you knew who I was, if you knew what this tree really could do, if you knew what this tree really had the power to do, if you knew what I was willing to give up to make it through the tough times, then you would hang in there because spring is right around the corner. You need to let some of these people that are going, let them go. Because if they really knew, or if they start to leave, all you got to do is just tell them one great time. Just tell them one time. Just let them, remind them, hey, you know you're leaving a tree. Just because it's winter time, just because our money's funny, doesn't mean that I'm not a tree. I declare this over your life right now. I was talking to somebody as part of SOC today and I said the same thing, or I said something similar. I declare over your life right now. You better let some of these people know that, look, if we need to go ahead and break and our season is over or this time is done, or we waiting for the next season, au revoir, no problem. But I need you to realize before you walk out that door, I am going to be back. I'm going to be back better than what I was last time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look, I might be down, and I even get it. Because I'm down, I might be even something that you consider to be a burden. No problem. I might be. You might think that that's who I am. You might think that's all you see. But don't forget that the same thing that fell off, it fell off from what springs up. And what springed up before, I decided to let it fall off, knowing that there was a winter season coming. You decide to leave me in my winter, no problem. Just be careful, because I might not let you back come the spring. Oh, come on, somebody. You don't want to hear that. Be careful now. You declared me to be not a tree because you didn't realize it was the season for me to look like that. You declared that I wasn't going to be able to make it because you thought you didn't look at the tree. You looked at the season the tree was in. You declared that I wasn't going to be able to make it past my circumstance and situation because you looked at the tree, not the season that I was in. Be careful. Just because it's the winter season in my life, it doesn't mean I'm not a tree. Oh, you don't want to hear. See, and thank y'all for the love. Be careful. What you've declared to be the end is what's used to be the beginning. Be careful. Ain't nothing worse than you gave up what God blessed you with because you couldn't see the tree. And the problem, and here's the wild part. Some of y'all be with this tree for seasons, over and over again for years. You know that they keep bouncing back, and yet for whatever reason, you try to use this as the excuse to say, I'm leaving. If they've been with you this many seasons, this many years, and see that you keep coming back with more fruit, and they're going to go ahead and leave because they don't like the fact that it's wintertime, Let him go. Let him go. Au revoir. Maybe we'll see each other again. Maybe we'll be the same we were. Maybe we'll go to the next level together. I don't know. But right now, au revoir. Je t'aime. However, au revoir. I appreciate you. I love you. I got respect for you. But au revoir. If you can't love me when it starts to fall apart, then you ain't gonna love me when it's springtime. And if you can only love me in my springtime, that's only a quarter of who I am. And if you only love me in my springtime because you think you're gonna be at ease for the summer, that's only half of who I am. But if you can't love me when I start falling off, because I'm not, watch this, Yah has designed me to allow things to fall off, not because I'm a bad person, not because I'm an addict, not because I cannot change, not because I'm not really rich, not because I'm not doing things right. He has allowed me to be able to fall off because winter is mandatory. Winter is mandatory. You can't have spring without winter. You can't have spring without the rainy season. It is impossible. There's not one place on earth that exists that only has one season all year round. It is impossible. Amen. Come on now, Sister Sage. Winter is mandatory. But every winter, you sitting up there talking about, I don't like winter. I don't like the cold. Nobody asked you if you liked it. You were built for it. You hear what I'm saying? Nobody asked you if you liked it. Y'all built you for it. Your family depending on you because it's springtime coming. I'm not saying don't cry. Cry. Let them tears fall. It's the fall season. But when it comes winter and you don't have no more tears to cry, you're going to have to, in everything that you've done to stand, if you can't do anything else, keep standing. Why? Because springtime is coming. Yah has never left you nor forsaken you. Why do you think he's going to stop now or start now? He didn't leave you in the winter of 2020. He didn't leave you in the winter of 2019. You know what was crazy with the COVID-19 thing? I used to say this all the time. You know what was crazy with the COVID-19 thing? How you doing, Teflon? And all this stuff, you know what was super crazy, what was super wild to me, is that it was called it was called COVID-19. Now, before we get into conspiracy theory, and by the way, I don't even think it's theory. I think it was conspiracy, some of it that y'all think that I'm sick. But before we can even get into that stuff, and we won't get into it tonight, I got to get ready to take my leave, get on the road. But before we even bring that up, right, it was COVID-19. But everybody in 2020 was reacting to what happened in 2019. Come on, Sister Sherry, I see you. Everybody in 2020 was living like it was still 2019. It was COVID-19, right? It was made and manufactured years before, and it was put into society in 2019, and people were acting like the world was going to fall apart, even though it had been out since 2019, and it had spread around since 2019. And if you knew how this thing worked, you know that you've been taking COVID shots since the 1960s. Y'all know this, right? They changed it. They changed the formula just enough to give it back to you. But you've been taking COVID-19 shots since 2020. And somebody, before you say I'm lying, I'm not going to go deep into it because they cancel me when I talk about this. Literally, y'all have seen it before, right? This is one of the reasons why we had the YouTube channel taken down. So I can't go deep into this. But real talk, if you know how shots and vaccines work, you take the flu shot. You think that the flu shot is a wintertime shot. Your flu shot is actually given to you in the fall. The COVID shot that you think is the flu shot is given to you in the winter. And you've been taking it every year, right? Your children take it every year. Well, some of your children, right? But you were living scared of what was going to happen in 2020 because you were worried about what was diagnosed in 2019. And the reality is that if anything, you should have thought that I already been forced to take this thing since the 60s. I'm spreading this information. Okay, once again, watch this. Let me go even deeper. I can't go deep, but let me go deeper since this person only talking about that I'm spreading this information, right? Here we go. You ready? You ready? You tell me if I'm wrong about this. Even when you take a flu shot, let me go a little deeper. I can't go deep because people are trying to cancel you on this stuff, right? But let me just go a little bit deeper, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Do you not even know that the flu shot is not necessarily even worthy of you taking because it doesn't stop the spread of the flu? We're gonna have the same thing pop up with COVID, by the way. You ready? Study to show me that I'm wrong. Since the 1930s, they've been trying to prove that the flu is contagious. That you're right, that you get it because it's contagious. They can't prove it though, can they? So, what do you mean so? So, because you're not willing to actually admit that you might not know something, right? So, therefore, if the flu shot is not contagious and you still take a shot every year for it, and you were taking COVID shots, you were taking corona shots since the 60s, maybe that wasn't something that you necessarily need to be as worried about either, because a lot of things which many people have admitted, including people who are getting money back from, right? I won't go too far, Brother Allens. I see. Go and look and see if in Chi-Town right now, if people who were forced to take the COVID shot or were forced to to leave their jobs because they wouldn't take the jab, see if they're getting paid back right now, right? The reason why is because you thought that 2019 had some effect on 2020, and you didn't know that the 1960s should have taught you that you was already dealing with this stuff. But all they said now is every time you get symptoms, you're sick. And so they gave you every symptom. You didn't even think about it. They said you're going to lose taste. There's other things you lose taste on. They said you're going to go ahead and you're going to have hair fall out. People have hair fall out because they don't eat right. They told you that you were going to have flu-like symptoms. People get flu-like symptoms year round, right? Matter of fact, isn't it interesting that you didn't even hear about people getting the flu anymore? It was like the flu went away, right? I'm trying to say all this because guess what you could use to be able to make sure that you're cleansed? Winter. Winter, right? I won't go any deeper. I won't go any longer because they're going to start tagging what I'm saying. I'm just trying to tell you, right? You're so busy. So many people were living 2020 like it was 2019. People were living 2021 like it was 2019. People were living 2021 like it was 2020. We lived 2020 like it was 2019. We lived 2021 like it was 2020. Some people still live in 2022 and 2023 like it's 2020, afraid to be able to show their face. And the reality of the matter is that you were always trying to catch up. That means if you were sick, you were sick already. And then they had to admit to you, if you had caught it, you couldn't even do what? It didn't even matter if you got the shot because the shot couldn't protect you as much as you just catching it outright. We were always late, not realizing that you should have been ready. You should have been eating already. You should have been fasting. You should have been letting some leaves fall so that when everybody was talking about being sick, who cares if you're going to be sick? I'm already prepared for the winter. I already have my immune system ready to go. You hear what I'm saying? I already got my immune system. I already had this stuff fall. I already got the discipline. I already eat like I'm supposed to. I already, if I am taking medicine, I've been taking the medicines that are correct, ready for this. I make sure I eat for prevention. I don't eat because it tastes great and then start saying, "Wow, I'm sick now. Let me start eating right." No, I eat right year round, right? Preparing myself, knowing that at some point I better be ready and see the signs for when it's fall. And I better let some things in my life fall off. Why? Because if they don't fall off, then when it becomes wintertime, I'm gonna be in a bad position. I need to make it to spring. Are you ready for your winter? Are you ready to let things fall off? Don't get excited. Look, it's summertime. It's great. It feels a lot different. But in Chicago, you know it's only a matter of time before that hawk come around the corner. In Wisconsin, you know it's only a matter of time before that hawk come. And when that hawk is ready to come, you better be ready. That being said, thank you all so much. I appreciate the king and queen in each and every one of you. Even if you're not living inside that kingdom or queendom yet, I appreciate the potential king and queen in each and every one of you. You guys take care and be willing to say when people start falling off, situations start falling off, money start falling off. Hey, au revoir. I made it before. I make it again. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Keep us in prayer. We're gonna get ready to travel, get on the road. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for listening in. As always, this has been Pastor Kofi. I'm sorry. Please check out my wife, the honor. Please, we give all honor and praise to Yahweh. Please check out my wife, the Honorable Maya, who lives a life to able to be honored. You can check her out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. And as always, this has been Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant to Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time by being the voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. And until I have the great privilege, opportunity, and responsibility of being in front of you all again, please remember, come into remembrance, and always recall, Yasada, that you are loved, you're necessary, you're majestic, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in the system no longer have to be of it. Shalom, family.